Good day and welcome to our explanation of Step 3, Systemic Stairway. I know that this is a new part of Step 3 that some people don't quite understand, so we decided to make a video to explain it in a better way. So in your toolkit, this is the YCAP toolkit, you see on page 11, there are 3 methods that you can use to research what your problem is. So the first one is the SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. So the weaknesses and threats are what you will draw on your map. Your map will be of the school or the community, depending on which one you want to work on. And you'll list them all here, so on one page you can see all of those problems that could be solved by your YCAP project. But now there's so many problems here that you've identified. How are you going to choose which one is the most important or urgent one to begin with? That's where we bring in the systemic stairway. It's a way to prioritize which items are more urgent than others. So it can be subtopics of a main topic, or it can be different topics and you are now going to choose the topic that you're going to work on in this project. So there are different ways of doing it and there's no right and wrong answer. As long as you try this, then we'll be happy. The whole point of it is to expand your minds and to work as a team to identify which of these elements are more urgent than others to work on in this project. So how we suggest that you do this is that you brainstorm all the ideas. So you could actually do this, the brainstorming, before you do the stairway, which is where you get pieces of paper like this. You give them to each team member and they all write down different problems that are happening in the school or the community. And then at the end you collect them all and you go through them and you group them. So I've just done a little exercise here and you don't write names on, it's all anonymous, so that you can't say, oh, that was a stupid idea, or why did you say that? It's not a personal thing, it's just about the topic. So the first one that we have here is low matric pass, okay, so that's one. The other one is hungry kids, the learners are hungry. The other one is alcohol abuse. Okay, another one, these are all from different team members, remember? No textbooks. Another challenge, bunking. Another challenge, drugs. Another one, we need good marks. And the last one, lack of discipline. So now we group these together. Now I think you would agree that drugs and alcohol abuse would fit together under something called maybe substance abuse. So that could be one topic. Then another topic, hungry kids. See, hungry kids came up. It's quite important, so we make that another one. No textbooks. Obviously, how are you going to get good marks if you don't have textbooks? So we're going to put that one there. And then low matric pass, and we need good marks. We'll group that together for good academic results, right? And then the last one, because we only need 5 for this exercise, is bunking. Okay, so bunking is lack of attendance. Then the last one that we didn't choose, because remember we only need 5 for this exercise, is lack of discipline. So we'll put that in another pile for another time. That is not the most urgent thing. There's only 1 card in it. If there were 3 of them, then that would have replaced one of the others here. Okay, so now all of those pieces of paper go together onto this diagram. So you see here, good academic performance, that is a goal, meaning that it's bad at the moment, right? Learners are hungry, that was the problem that we had here. Hungry kids, remember that one, the learners are hungry. Here, lack of textbooks, we had here, no textbooks. Absenteeism, we had bunking. And then substance abuse, remember we had alcohol abuse and drugs. Okay, so now these are your 5 topics. Now you have to compare them to see which one is more urgent to start with. Which one is going to help you to achieve more if you solve it first. So in your team, you'll sit down and you'll draw these boxes like that. And you'll compare the first one to the second one in a clockwise direction. So you compare the first one to the second one, then the first one to the third one, then the first one to the fourth one, and the first one to the fifth one. Then you'll move on to the second one and do the same exercise. So we'll start here. Good academic performance. So between good academic performance and learners are hungry, which one do you think is more important or urgent to fix? Obviously, all of these are important, but which one is more urgent to fix? So I think that your team will debate and decide that probably, that makes sense, that learners are hungry is more important or urgent. So the arrow goes from the one that is more urgent to the one that is less urgent. So the arrow will go from learners are hungry to good academic performance, right? So learners are hungry has an arrow going out of it to good academic performance. Then you compare good academic performance and lack of textbooks. So you debate amongst your team and you decide how are we going to get a good academic performance if we don't have textbooks? So we draw the arrow from the textbooks to the good academic performance. Then how are we going to achieve good academic performance if there's absenteeism? People are not at school. Are they going to be able to learn? Well, actually, yes, because if they have the textbooks and they have the food, they can be at home and they can learn if they're absent a day or two. Doesn't mean they're not going to pass. So that's why the arrow goes from good academic performance to absenteeism, because it's not a deal breaker. Okay? Then between good academic performance and substance abuse, I think you would agree that if someone is very drunk or someone is high on drugs, they're not going to be able to learn, whether they're at school or at home. It's not going to happen. So the arrow goes from substance abuse to good academic performance. So that's one of the blocks completed with all the arrows. You do that with each one. And remember, there's no right or wrong. You just have to agree in your team. You have to make a case, and everyone has to agree. Even if some people say, that's not what I think, if the majority rules that that's how it's going to be, that's how it's going to be. Okay. Then you've drawn all the arrows and you come up with a picture that looks like this. Okay. It's a whole diagram. Then you have to work out the ratios. So how many arrows went out of this box and how many went in? So going out of the box, 1. Only this one that went to absenteeism. You see, the one yellow arrow. All the rest went in. There's 3 going in. Substance abuse went in, lack of textbooks went in, and learners are hungry went in. So your ratio is 1, 3. You do the same for all of them. You see 1, 3 is here. Learners are hungry, 3 went out, 1 went in. Lack of textbooks, 3 arrows went out, 1 went in. Absenteeism, 1 went out, 3 went in. Substance abuse, 2 went out, 2 went in. Now you go into the systemic stairway. That's going to show you what you need to start with, the most urgent thing to build up to your main goal at the end. Okay, so the first one is the one with the highest ratio. So the 2 highest ratios are tied actually. Lack of textbooks and learners are hungry are both 3-1. But I think you'll agree that hunger is more important than textbooks in this example. So we have learners are hungry at the bottom. That is the driver. That is the one you have to work on first before you can achieve any of these others. So you fix that. Then the next one is lack of textbooks. As I said, they're the same ratio. Then we have substance abuse, which is 2-2. It was tied, it was in the middle, and here it is in the middle, so it makes sense. Then between absenteeism and good academic performance, we also had ratios tied, 1-3 and 1-3. So you'll see both of them. You could have had them the other way around, but I think you'll agree that the main thing that you want to achieve is good academic performance. So we'll put that one at the top. So that is your outcome that you want to achieve. So your outcome is good academic performance, but you can only get there by climbing the staircase. So starting with hunger, then textbooks, then linking to substance abuse, then absenteeism, and then you'll achieve good academic performance. Not to say that there are other variables that are going to come into play, but if all of these are achieved, that will definitely improve, right? So this on the side, just to explain what it means, it says energy input and results at present. So let's say you're putting 80% of the effort into this hunger issue. You are making sure that people are getting fed. Then the results should be happy, right? A good result. But let's say you're putting 80% into this problem, learners are hungry, but you're getting a bad result, a sad face. Then that either means that what you're doing here is not working, or this is not the most urgent thing to do. So for example, let's say you are making sure that people are eating, but you're not checking if their food is healthy or not. How are people going to learn if they don't have healthy food? If you're giving them chips and Coke every day, that's not going to help them learn. So you need to check that the input you're putting in, the energy you're putting in, is actually giving you the outcome that you want to achieve. As you're going along with this process, you want to make sure that your actions are working, because you're not going to achieve impact if they're not. So rather know now than later on. So that in a nutshell is step 3. It's 3 different sections. You should do at least 3 of them. And if you only do 2 of them really well and 1 you just try, it's not the end of the world. That means 2 out of the 3 will be perfect. And this one you'll try. We don't expect everything to be 100% the first time you do it, but we do expect you to have a go and give it a try. So best of luck with step number 3.